Hello and welcome to Map and Key Gaming's Halloween Spooktacular. Ooh. Well, for the month of October, we are featuring games and characters of the spooky and macabre variety. We're also focusing on villains and different types of characters that we like to dress up as. And today we are looking at Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde from Unmatched. Unmatched is a 2 to 4 player game that plays approximately 20 to 40 minutes and is for ages 9 and up. It is a fighting game where you choose a character, traverse across a board, and engage in combat. The characters are very diverse and come from different backgrounds. Some of them come from myths and legend, like King Arthur and Medusa. Some of them come from literature, like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde here, and then there's also Dracula and the Invisible Man. Some come from TV and movies. There's a Buffy the Vampire Slayer set, and there's a Jurassic Park set. So it gets really, really crazy. And that's part of the reason why I'm doing this spotlight. This really isn't a strategy guide. This is more of a take a look at this character. These are the cards that he has. This is what he does. And for you to see if you like him. As you can see on his character card here, he is a melee character, and he does not have a sidekick. So he fights by himself up close and personal. At the start of the game, you start as Dr. Jekyll, and at the start of your turn, you may transform into Jekyll or Hyde. You can go back and forth. The only consequence is that whenever you maneuver, you do take 1 damage if you are Mr. Hyde. Mr. Hyde is the stronger version of the two, but there are cards for both. Now, you can see here that his life, he does start at 16 life. I want to say it's a little above average in the health pool. And when he does maneuver, he does move 2 spaces. Let's take a look at the cards. Oh, I do want to show off his little token here. This is the Mr. Hyde side. And then you flip it over when you're Jekyll. So that way you and your opponent know which form you're in. Okay, I think I'll start with the common, those are my air quotes, cards, because they are the cards that will be found in multiple characters' decks. So the first one we're going to be looking at is Feint. Feint you're going to find in the majority of the decks. The artwork on it is pretty cool. Actually, I think all of the ones that I've seen so far, the artwork is absolutely phenomenal. I just love the cards. If you take a look here at Feint, Feint is purple, which means that it can be used as an attack or a block. The number underneath it is for how much it will attack for or defend for. Any means it can be used as either Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde. Some cards will be specific to which character can use them, but in the case of Feint, any character can use it. And then down here, with any Feint, it's immediately cancel all effects on your opponent's cards. It kills everything except for the damage on them. The next card that I believe you find in other decks is the Skirmish card. Now, Skirmish, again, is an any, and it's a purple, and it is 4/4, which reads, after combat, if you won the combat, choose one of the fighters in the combat and move them up to 2 spaces. So that gives you some board control. So either you can push them away, or if they have a move that kicks them back, like Bruce Lee has some moves that he does something, he pushes back, that you can actually move forward or pull them back to you. You know, with him being a melee character, that is kind of important, being able to control that space. And since we are looking at purple cards, here's another one right here. The Duality of Man, a purple for 3, and it's an any card again. It is a purple card that is for 3, and it is any, so it can be used by either Mr. Hyde or Dr. Jekyll there. And the Duality of Man. During combat, if you are Dr. Jekyll and playing this card to defend, this card's value is 6 instead. If you are Mr. Hyde and playing this card to attack, this card's value is 6 instead. That is huge. That is huge for when you are playing the weaker version to be able to defend very, very well. And if you are Hyde and you are looking to punch someone in the face, that is an excellent way of doing. The first Dr. Jekyll card here is a purple card for 3 called Distracted Triage. After combat, if you won the combat, recover 2 health. So this is kind of a cool card. If you can get it to work, then you're going up 2 health. Yeah, this card kind of speaks for itself. The next card is Succumb to Compulsion, another Dr. Jekyll purple card, and that's for 2. Succumb to Compulsion. After combat, move up to 2 spaces, transform to Mr. Hyde. Again, this is that space control, trying to stay tight and turning into Mr. Hyde and getting ready to smash. Now, Dr. Jekyll's defense card here for 4 is With Haste. After combat, move Dr. Jekyll up to 4 spaces. It's another board control, space control. For him, it's super important. And then Dr. Jekyll's last defense card here, it's a 2, Scientific Method. After combat, draw a number of cards equal to the damage you were dealt. So if you were dealt a decent amount of damage here, block some of it, and you're able to at least draw some cards. Now Dr. Jekyll's card here is Calming Research. Recover 2 health, and draw up to 3 cards, keep 1, and put the others on the bottom of your deck in any order. So this is pretty much deck control. It's a way for you to go through and kind of pick what you need, and take whatever you don't and put it at the bottom of your deck. And that's it for the Dr. Jekyll cards. Now we're moving on to the Mr. Hyde cards. Mr. Hyde right here is a purple card, and that's Madness Relents. After combat, transform to Dr. Jekyll. That's a way for you to go and do something and then get out of the situation and not have to take that additional hit. Now your scheme card as Mr. Hyde here is Strange Case. Reveal the top card of your deck. Deal damage equal to the boost value, which is this number here in the circle, to 1 adjacent fighter. Put the card in your hand. So that's kind of cool. You're drawing a free card and you're doing a little extra damage while the person is a little too close to you. His other scheme card here is called Pure Evil. Place Mr. Hyde in any space in his zone. Mr. Hyde deals 2 damage to all adjacent fighters. It just kind of speaks for itself. And then his first attack here for 5, Recoiling Blow. After combat, place Mr. Hyde in any space in his zone, transform to Dr. Jekyll. And his final card here is Forever Hyde for 5 damage also. During combat, you may discard Dr. Jekyll cards, add 2 to this card's value for each card discarded. So if you have a bunch of Dr. Jekyll cards, discard them and go ahead and make it hurt. And that right there is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. If you like this kind of content, please give us a thumbs up, as I'm making more videos spotlighting the different characters of Unmatched. Hit the subscribe button down below, because hey, I can use the subscribers, I'm not gonna lie. Until next time, man is not truly one, but truly two. Robert Louis Stevenson.